This boot maybe looks fine, but trust me, there's a big surprise.
So this cow is extremely lame on this foot, and as you can see, well, there's not much to see at all. Let's figure out exactly what it is. So these are called hoof testers, and they can be truly invaluable in finding problems that aren't always very obvious. So if we press on here, there is no reaction to her at all. If we press over here, let's see, there's still no reaction. Oh. So we're going to start off by doing a routine part of the trim so that we can balance up the two claws and hopefully something will become apparent. So by doing that, we've leveled up both of the claws, and now the weight distribution between the two is completely even, so 50-50. Also by doing that, what's become apparent is there's a stone in her white line here, and down here there's a little black dot. Now that little black dot could be hugely important, and that is what I think will be causing her lameness. But first off, we're going to model this out and finish the trim. Yep, she's really flinching at that. So I can see here is definitely the problem. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but there is pus starting to come out of that hole. Just here. Now where there is pus, there's a cavity. And we need to make sure that cavity is completely opened up to release any fluid that's in there causing pain. Don't know if you can hear that on camera, but these feet are incredibly hard. And because this is so hard, I'm going to reduce all of this with the grinder. But first off, I'm going to get a block put on there. I really want to stress just how lame this cow was when she came into the crush. Cows with this particular problem are almost always in extreme pain because of the pressure being built up within the hoof capsule. Just imagine yourself wearing a pair of steel boots, but your feet are getting bigger and bigger all the time. Imagine the excruciating pain then having to walk on it if you weighed over 1,300 pounds or around 600 kilos. Experience tells me that the most likely scenario here is that all of the solar hoof horn is completely detached, so I'll end up removing the vast majority of it. However, experience also tells me that I could be wrong. So caution, patience and precision with the knife is the aim of the game. When I slice through here, it looks like I've nicked the corium, but I actually haven't. As you can see, when I wipe it away, most of that is jelly-like congealed blood and pus, which was contained in the cavity below. As I reach this part of the trim, you'll notice the horn I'm trimming away is a slightly greyish colour. It's not actually a different colour, it's the fact that there's a void underneath, and that lets me know that most of this horn is not attached to the corium. However, sometimes mistakes are made. The corium, the part that I keep referring to, is the part of the cow's foot which actually produces the hoof horn and lies directly underneath this hoof horn but below the digital cushion. The digital cushion is a fat pad inside the cow's foot which protects the corium from becoming bruised and ulcerated. In order for this cow to truly heal, every part of horn that is not connected to the corium must be removed. And unfortunately, to ensure that happens, sometimes we get a little too close, which is exactly what's happened in the background right now. The part of horn I removed there was connected to the corium, and that's why it's begun to bleed a little. It will be completely inconsequential in this cow's recovery, and it's more important to make sure that we remove every shred of disconnected horn. That having been said, it's still an error on my part. Now that I understand the full extent of this white line abscess, I realise that she will need another block applied to make sure that that outer or lateral claw doesn't touch the ground at all and cannot hinder her full recovery. So as you can see, this is much more extreme than it first appeared. If I flick back to what it was originally like, when we picked it up, it looked like there was almost nothing wrong. As you can see, there's an infection here which has completely delaminated the whole sole all the way up the inside there as well. This cow will be feeling much better now that the pressure has been released. I'm really happy with how this trim has turned out, and I'm even more happy that we managed to spot that little black spot causing all of the trouble. So if I flash the original picture of her foot when she first came into the car shop, you can see this cow has clearly had her feet well looked after over years and years, but something has still gone wrong. She's had an accident, something metabolic's happened, or she's become ill in some kind of way, and that has resulted in this infection within her foot, causing severe lameness. And hopefully this one trim will have completely alleviated that pain and get her completely healed in one simple trim. I love it when we find problems like this, because when this cow came into the crush, she couldn't put her foot on the ground. As soon as she goes out, I know for a fact these blocks will take her complete weight and she will be pain-free, or almost at least. And this one simple trim will completely have healed her foot. Happy days.